In the peaceful city of Auca, there lived a man known as Ezego. He was a man of great wealth and high standing in the community. Tall and noble, his presence commanded respect wherever he went. His skin was smooth and well cared for. He often wore elegant traditional attire, with richly embroidered agbada and a red cap symbolizing his chieftaincy title. He carried a walking stick adorned with gold. Despite his affluence, Ezego was known for his humility and generosity. He was always the first to contribute to community projects, and his philanthropic efforts had transformed many lives. His compound in the heart of Auca was an expansive estate, filled with lush gardens, modern amenities, and a constant buzz of activity. Ezego was also a successful businessman, known for his sharp mind and strategic investments. Welcome to Afro Tales TV, your home for rich, exciting, and inspiring stories from around the world. Today's story will touch your heart and keep you hooked till the very end. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our amazing stories. Ezego had a beautiful wife who had sadly passed away a few years after giving birth to their only child, Jerry. Jerry had grown up to be a handsome young man. His father loved and cherished him so much. Despite his wayward lifestyle, Jerry never joked with his studies. He hated associating himself with poor people and always liked to impress classy girls. Ezego had a cook, a driver, and a gateman to help manage his household. In social gatherings, Chief Ezego's voice was calm and measured, reflecting his wisdom and experience. His laughter was hearty, often filling the room and putting everyone at ease. He treated everyone with respect, from the elders to the youngest children, making him beloved by all. One sunny afternoon, Ezego called for his son. "Jerry, come here, my son," he said with a gentle but firm voice. Jerry, who was lounging in the garden, rolled his eyes but walked over to his father. "Yes, Papa?" he answered, trying to sound polite. "My son," Ezego began, "I have noticed that you have not been showing respect to the people around you. This is not how I raised you. You must learn to be kind and respectful to everyone." Jerry sighed. "But Papa, they are just servants. Why should I care?" Ezego's face grew stern. "Jerry, everyone deserves respect, no matter who they are. Our wealth does not make us better than others. It gives us the responsibility to be even more humble and kind." Jerry looked down, shuffling his feet. "Yes, Papa, I will try." Ezego placed a hand on his son's shoulder. "I know you will, my son. I believe in you." Just then, their cook, Mama Ngozi, came out with a tray of freshly baked chin-chin. "Chief Ezego, I made some snacks for you and Jerry," she said with a warm smile. "Thank you, Mama Ngozi," Ezego replied, taking a piece and offering it to Jerry. "These look delicious." Jerry hesitated but then took a piece as well. "Thank you, Mama Ngozi," he mumbled. Mama Ngozi beamed. "You're welcome, young master." Later that evening, Ezego and Jerry sat in the living room, watching a documentary about famous philanthropists. Ezego hoped that seeing the good deeds of others would inspire his son. "Jerry," Ezego said, "see how these people use their wealth to help others. This is what I want for you, to grow up and be a good man who makes a difference in the world." Jerry nodded slowly, deep in thought. "I understand, Papa. I want to make you proud." Ezego smiled and hugged his son. "You already do, my boy. Just remember, kindness and respect are the most important things." As the night grew darker, the city of Auca remained peaceful, with the sounds of crickets filling the air. Ezego looked out of the window, feeling hopeful for the future. He believed that Jerry would learn and grow, becoming a man of honor and kindness, just like him. A few months later, Ezego informed his driver, Okafor, about an upcoming business trip. "Okafor, we will be traveling for 3 weeks," Ezego said, seated comfortably in his study. Okafor looked worried and then went down on his knees. "Please, Chief Ezego, can you give me a day to sort out something important?" he pleaded. "My daughter Ngozi just came back from school, and our landlord gave us urgent notice to vacate. I need to find a place for her to stay while we're gone." Ezigo thought for a moment. Okafor, tell Ngozi to come and stay here until we return. I have empty rooms in the house. Okafor's face lit up with relief. Thank you, Chief. Thank you so much. He was overwhelmed by Ezigo's kindness. Later that night, Jerry came home very late. As he opened the door, he saw his father sitting in the living room, watching the news. Good evening, Papa, Jerry greeted. Where are you coming from at this time of night? Ezigo asked, his voice firm. Jerry was taken aback by his father's stern response. Without another word, Ezigo stood up and walked to his bedroom, leaving Jerry alone in the living room. Jerry slumped onto the couch, staring at the floor. He couldn't believe his father would invite someone like Ngozi to stay in their home. He knew his father was kind-hearted, but this felt like too much. The next morning, as the sun rose over Auca, Ezigo was busy preparing for his trip. He called Okafor to his study and handed him a list. Okafor, make sure everything on this list is packed and ready for our trip. Yes, Chief, Okafor replied, taking the list and hurrying off to gather the items. He was responsible for packing Ezigo's bags and important documents, ensuring nothing was left behind. Around noon, Ngozi arrived. She was a smart and pretty young lady who believed strongly in truth and hard work. She carried a small suitcase and looked around nervously. Welcome, Ngozi, said Monica, the housekeeper, who had been instructed to take care of her. This will be your home for the next few weeks. Feel free to walk around the house. Thank you, Ma, Ngozi said softly, her voice full of gratitude. Monica smiled. Come, let me show you to your room. As they walked through the house, Ngozi marveled at the beautiful decorations and spacious rooms. Monica led her to a cozy guest room with a large bed and a window that overlooked the garden. This is your room, Ngozi, Monica said. If you need anything, just ask. Ngozi nodded. Thank you, Ma. Meanwhile, Jerry was in his room, still fuming about the situation. He heard Monica showing Ngozi around and felt a surge of anger. Why does she have to stay here? He muttered to himself. As evening fell, Ezigo prepared to leave. He found Jerry in the living room and placed a hand on his shoulder. Take care, my son. I trust you to look after everything while I'm gone. Yes, Papa, Jerry replied, trying to hide his frustration. And remember, Ezigo added, be kind to Ngozi. She is our guest. With that, Ezigo and Okafor left for their trip, leaving Jerry, Ngozi, Monica, and the gateman in the house. Jerry still felt burdened by Ngozi's presence. Jerry glanced at Ngozi, who was sitting quietly in the corner of the living room. He sighed, knowing he had no choice but to tolerate her presence. For the next 3 weeks, Jerry would have to navigate sharing his home with Ngozi, and perhaps along the way he would learn a thing or two about kindness and respect. I was out with my friends, Jerry replied casually. Those friends are not good company, Jerry. You should not be associating yourself with people who don't teach you anything good, Ezigo said, his brow furrowed with concern. We just went out to enjoy ourselves, Papa, Jerry said, a hint of defiance in his tone. Ezigo sighed. Listen, I will be traveling tomorrow for business and will be gone for 3 weeks. I want you to take good care of the house and be nice to the people around you. Okay, Papa, Jerry said, trying to sound sincere. And one more thing, Ezigo added. Ngozi, Okafor's daughter, will be staying here until we come back. Jerry frowned immediately. Papa, I don't want to share my space with that poor girl. Ezigo's expression hardened. If you can't share my house with people, then you should get your own house. That way, no one will disturb you. The next day, Jerry started commanding Ngozi around, sending her on unnecessary errands. He used abusive words on her daily, calling her a wretched thing. He lived his normal life, going out with friends and coming back any time he wished since his father wasn't home to question him. Sometimes he hosted his friends at his father's house, and they did all sorts of rubbish there. Monica, the housekeeper, couldn't caution him in the absence of his father due to the kind of person Jerry was. He brought different classy girls home and commanded Ngozi to serve them. Jerry didn't check on his father's business to see how well the staff were doing at his father's company. One afternoon, as Jerry drove into the compound, he called out, "You poor thing, come here, open that boot and carry that bag to my room." When Ngozi finally got home, she went and complained to Monica. "Auntie Monica, Jerry drove past me and didn't even stop to help me with this heavy pack of water," she said, her voice filled with frustration. Monica sighed and patted Ngozi's shoulder. "I'm sorry about that, Ngozi, but you know he is our young master, so there's nothing we can do about it." Jerry continued to live his carefree life, ignoring his responsibilities and treating Ngozi poorly. Every day, he would call her names and make her do things that were too hard for her. Sometimes, Ngozi would cry, but Monica was always there to comfort her. One evening, Jerry came back home with a group of friends. "Ngozi, come here," he shouted from the living room. Ngozi quickly ran to him. "Yes, young master." "Serve us drinks and make sure they're cold," Jerry ordered. Ngozi nodded and went to the kitchen to get the drinks. She felt sad and tired, but she knew she had to do what Jerry said. As she served the drinks, one of Jerry's friends laughed and said, "Jerry, why do you keep this poor girl around? She looks like she's about to cry." Jerry smirked. "She's just a servant. She's here to do what I say." Ngozi felt a tear roll down her cheek, but she quickly wiped it away. She didn't want to show them how much their words hurt her. Later that night, Ngozi sat in her small room, thinking about her life. She missed her father's presence and wished she could leave this place and find somewhere she would be treated kindly. But for now, she had to stay and do her best. The next morning, Jerry was in a particularly bad mood. "Ngozi, where is my breakfast?" he yelled. Ngozi quickly brought his food to the dining table. "Here it is, young master." Jerry took one look at it and pushed the plate away. "This is rubbish. I don't want this. Make me something else." "But this is what you usually eat," Ngozi said quietly. "I don't care. Make me something else now," Jerry shouted. Ngozi went back to the kitchen, her hands shaking. She quickly made another dish and brought it to Jerry. He tasted it and finally nodded. "This is better." Monica watched all of this from the corner of the room. She felt sorry for Ngozi, but knew there was little she could do. Jerry was the young master, and they had to follow his orders. That afternoon, as Ngozi was cleaning the living room, Jerry came in with another girl. "Ngozi, clean this place up quickly. I have a guest," he commanded. Ngozi nodded and worked as fast as she could. The girl sat on the couch looking around the room. "You have a nice house," she said to Jerry. "Thanks," Jerry replied, glancing at Ngozi. "Hurry up, wretched girl." Ngozi finished cleaning and left the room. She sat in the kitchen, feeling exhausted. She knew she had to keep going, but every day was a struggle. As the days went by, Ngozi tried to stay strong. She did her best to do what Jerry asked, even though he was always mean to her. She found comfort in talking to Monica, who always had a kind word for her. One day, while Ngozi was walking back from the store with another heavy load, she saw Jerry drive past her again. This time, she didn't let it bother her. She knew she was strong and could handle it. She was determined to survive and make a better life for herself and her father one day. When Ngozi opened the boot, she saw a big trolley bag. She tried to carry it but couldn't because it was too heavy for her. "I can't carry this. You're a man. You should carry it yourself. After all, it's your clothes inside," she told Jerry. Jerry sneered at her. "Do as I say, Ngozi, or you'll be sorry." Just then, Monica, the housekeeper, saw what was going on between the two of them and decided to come and carry the bag to Jerry's room. "Let me help with that," she said gently, taking the heavy bag from Ngozi. "Thank you, Auntie Monica," Ngozi whispered, grateful for the help. The following day, Jerry asked Ngozi to go and buy a pack of bottled water. He only drank a specific brand and wouldn't take any other. Ngozi went to the stores, looking for that particular bottled water. She finally bought the pack of water and started walking back home. As she was trekking back, she saw Jerry drive past her. He didn't stop to carry her home. 2 weeks later, as Jerry's phone rang, he saw it was his father, Ezigo. Jerry picked up quickly. "Hello, Papa," Jerry greeted cheerfully. "Hello, my son," Ezigo replied. "How are you doing? And how is Ngozi? Is she getting used to everything around the house?" "Yes, Papa," Jerry answered. "She's managing well. How is the business going over there?" "The business is doing well," Ezigo said. "But I called to inform you about a change of plans. We will be coming back in 2 weeks instead of next week." "Okay, Papa, no problem. Just take good care of yourself," Jerry said. "You too, my son," Ezigo replied before hanging up. Jerry smiled as he put down his phone. "Enjoyment continues," he whispered to himself. Later that day, Jerry brought another girl home. He offered her a seat in the living room and called out to Ngozi. "Ngozi, come and serve us," Jerry ordered. The next day, Jerry dressed in a smart suit. Ngozi saw him and asked, "Where are you going?" "I'm going to the office," Jerry replied. "I want to see how my father's company has been doing since he left." On his way back from the office, Jerry stopped by the mall. He bought a beautiful gift for Ngozi to thank her for saving his life. He also got a gift for Madame Monica, the housekeeper, to show his gratitude for her kindness. From that day on, Jerry and Ngozi became the best of friends. Jerry changed completely from his bad ways and became a better man. He started going to work regularly to monitor what was happening in his father's company. One evening, he brought home some documents and noticed that something was wrong. He took it upon himself to find out who was behind the problem. He called Ngozi, who was sitting on the couch, and said, "Please come and take a look at these documents." Ngozi walked over and looked at the papers. After a while, she said, "These figures are not accurate. It means some people are taking the company's money and sending it somewhere else. We must find out who is behind this." As time went on, Jerry and Ngozi became very close. Jerry couldn't stay without Ngozi by his side. He often bought gifts for Ngozi to show his appreciation. Madame Monica noticed what was going on between the two and was grateful to God for bringing Ngozi into their lives. One day, Monica called Ngozi to the kitchen. "What is going on between you and the young master?" she asked with a smile. Ngozi replied, "Nothing is going on between us. Since the incident with the girl who wanted to poison him, he promised to be nice to me." Monica chuckled. "I know the whole story, but that's not the point. The young master is in love with you." "Love?" Ngozi exclaimed. "Madam Monica, you're joking. Please, I was busy when you called me." She then left the kitchen. That night, as Ngozi lay on her bed, she couldn't stop thinking about what Monica had said. She wondered, how could a man who once called me all sorts of abusive names fall in love with me? The next day, Jerry and Ngozi continued working on the company documents. They discovered more signs of fraud and were determined to find out who was responsible. Jerry was grateful to have Ngozi's help and often thanked her for her support. One evening, as they were working, Jerry said, "Thank you, Ngozi. I couldn't have done this without you." Ngozi smiled and replied, "You're welcome, Jerry. I'm happy to help." Monica watched them from the kitchen, smiling to herself. She knew that their friendship was growing stronger each day and believed that they were meant for each other. As the days went by, Jerry and Ngozi worked hard to uncover the truth about the company's finances. They spent many hours together, discussing their findings and planning their next steps. Jerry appreciated Ngozi's intelligence and dedication, and he found himself caring for her more and more. One afternoon, as they took a break from their work, Jerry said, "Ngozi, I want to thank you again for everything you've done. You're not just a friend to me, you're like family." Ngozi was touched by his words. "Thank you, Jerry. That means a lot to me." Monica, who was passing by, couldn't help but smile. She hoped that one day, Ngozi and Jerry would realize their true feelings for each other. That night, Ngozi lay in bed, thinking about Jerry's words. She wondered if it was possible that he could really love her. Maybe Madame Monica was right, she thought, but how can I be sure? As the days passed, Jerry and Ngozi's bond grew even stronger. They continued to work together, uncovering more clues about the company's finances and getting closer to finding the culprits. Jerry felt happier than he had in a long time, and he knew that Ngozi was the reason for his newfound joy. Ngozi too felt a deep sense of gratitude and affection for Jerry. She realized that he had changed for the better and that their friendship was something special. Despite her doubts, she began to wonder if there was more to their relationship than just friendship. 2 days later, Jerry and Ngozi were able to find out who was behind the company's missing money. They were both very happy with their hard work. "We did it, Ngozi," Jerry said with a big smile. "Yes, we did," Ngozi replied. "I knew we could figure it out together." The next day, Ezego returned home with Okafor. Everyone was so happy that Chief Ezego was finally back. Jerry hugged his father tightly. "Welcome back, Papa," he said. Ngozi also embraced her father. "Welcome, Papa. Welcome, Chief," she said, and everyone greeted them warmly. That night, as they all sat together, Jerry asked his father, "How was your journey, Papa?" "It was good, my son," Ezego replied. "How have you been? And how is everything in the house?" "I'm good, Papa, as you can see," Jerry said. He then told his father everything that had happened, including how Ngozi had saved his life. "Papa, if it wasn't for Ngozi, I don't know what would have happened." Jerry also told his father how Ngozi had helped him trace the people who were stealing the company's money. "Papa, Ngozi was the one who helped me find the culprits," he said. "I couldn't have done it without her." Ezego noticed the great change in his son's life. "Jerry, I see that you have become a better man," he said. "I am very proud of you." Ezego felt that he had achieved everything he had ever wanted in life. He was happy to have his family together and to see his son doing well. As they settled into their new home, Ngozi and her father felt a deep sense of gratitude. They knew that their lives had changed for the better. "Thank you, Papa," Ngozi said to her father. "I am so happy to be here with you." "And I am happy to be here with you, my daughter," her father replied. "We are truly blessed." From that day on, Ngozi and Jerry continued to work together, helping each other and growing closer. Their bond became even stronger, and they knew that they could always count on each other. Ezego looked at Ngozi with gratitude. "Thank God for using Ngozi to save my one and only child," he said. The next day, Chief Ezego decided to give a small apartment to Ngozi and her father as a token of gratitude. "Ngozi, you and your father have done so much for my family," he said. "I want to give you this apartment as a thank you." Ngozi went on her knees to thank Chief Ezego. "Thank you, Chief, for your kindness towards my father and me," she said, tears of joy in her eyes. "Everything you need is already in the apartment," Ezego said. "You only need to bring your clothes and move in." That evening, Ngozi and her father moved into their new house. When they arrived, they couldn't believe their eyes. The apartment was beautiful and had everything they could ever want. Ngozi's father hugged her tightly. "You are a blessed child," he said. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks turned into months, Jerry began to feel bored and uncomfortable around the house. He missed Ngozi terribly since she wasn't living with them anymore. He spent most of his time inside his room, feeling lonely. His father, Ezego, noticed his son's change in behavior. One evening, Ezego knocked on Jerry's door. "May I come in, my son?" he asked. "Yes, Papa," Jerry replied, sitting up on his bed. Ezego entered the room and sat beside Jerry. "What is the matter with you, Jerry? You haven't been yourself lately," he said. Jerry sighed. "I don't know why I'm feeling this way, Papa. Ever since Ngozi moved to her new home, I feel so lonely. I miss her." Ezego smiled warmly. "My son, you are in love," he said. "If there's anything you need me to do for you, you can always count on me." He patted Jerry on the shoulder and left the room. "I know this is sudden, and I understand if you need time to think about it," Jerry continued. "But I had to tell you how I feel." Ngozi's heart was filled with warmth. She had always admired Jerry's kindness and the changes he had made in his life. She realized that she had feelings for him too. "Jerry, I love you too," she said softly. Jerry's face lit up with joy. "Really? You do? He asked, hardly believing his ears. Yes, I do, Ngozi replied with a smile. I have always cared for you, and seeing you become a better person has made me love you even more. Jerry took her hands in his. Ngozi, will you be with me? Will you marry me and build a family together? He asked. Tears of happiness filled Ngozi's eyes. Yes, Jerry, I will, she said, nodding. They embraced each other tightly, feeling a sense of completeness. Jerry couldn't wait to share the good news with his father. They went back to Jerry's house hand in hand. When they arrived, Ezego was sitting in the living room. He looked up and saw the joy on their faces. What is it, my children? He asked. Papa, Ngozi and I have something to tell you, Jerry said excitedly. We have decided to be together. Ngozi has agreed to marry me. Ezego's eyes sparkled with happiness. This is wonderful news, he exclaimed. I am so happy for both of you. He hugged them warmly. The news of Jerry and Ngozi's engagement spread quickly, and everyone was thrilled. They began to plan their wedding, and the preparations brought even more joy to their lives. On the day of the wedding, friends and family gathered to celebrate their love. As Jerry and Ngozi stood before their loved ones, exchanging vows, they knew they were ready to start a new chapter in their lives together. They promised to love and support each other forever. Their love story became an inspiration to many, showing that true love can grow even from the most unexpected places. Jerry and Ngozi lived happily ever after, building a beautiful family and cherishing every moment together. Jerry thought about his father's words. He knew he had to talk to Ngozi about his feelings. The next day, he decided to reach out to her. He went to her new home and knocked on the door. Ngozi opened the door and was surprised to see Jerry. Jerry, what a surprise! Please, come in, she said. They sat down in the living room and Jerry took a deep breath. Ngozi, I need to talk to you about something very important, he began. Sure, Jerry, what is it? Ngozi asked, looking curious. I've been feeling very lonely and unhappy since you moved out, Jerry said. I've realized that it's because I have feelings for you. I love you, Ngozi. I can't imagine my life without you. I wish we could build a family together. Ngozi was taken aback by his confession. Jerry, I don't know what to say, she stammered. She looked into his eyes and saw the sincerity in his words. Lesson from this story. No matter one's background or past behavior, true transformation is possible through love, humility, and gratitude. Treating others with kindness and respect opens doors to deep friendships, healing, and even unexpected love. Just as Jerry changed and found purpose with Ngozi, we learn that everyone deserves a second chance and that sincere effort, honesty, and compassion can lead to lasting happiness. Thank you for watching this story on Afrotales TV. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and share with friends and family. We have more beautiful stories coming your way, so subscribe and stay tuned. See you in the next one.